What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, let's have a conversation about this Nike commercial. I am incredibly perplexed at why there's a effort to push this false bravado, this false excellence in women's sports. Now, don't get me wrong, women in and of themselves and the competitive nature amongst other women can have a measurable success, can do really, really well, be considered to be great, or whatever you want to call it. In no way, form, or fashion should men and women be compared in sports. I made a video about a week ago, and it's got almost 2 million views. It's got almost 2 million views. Now I got to debunk this incredibly ridiculous, embarrassing Nike commercial where they had the audacity to compare women's basketball to men's basketball, football, and baseball, and Alexander the Great. Dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my life. And I don't understand why women, at least these particular women, want men to criticize them so bad. They want men to be sexist and do all this stuff because they completely violate on a day-to-day basis when it comes to whether or not they can compete against men. Let me make this very clear, and then we're going to go on to the video. Women and men are biologically different. Women in sports are no comparison to men. You can be great, you can do well, but you do not in no way, form, or fashion even come close to comparing with men in sports. I'm not only going to debunk this video, I'm going to show you an example of why, for sure, women's basketball is nowhere near men's basketball. So let's look at this commercial and try not to throw up in your mouth when you watch it. And for some reason, there's this intent to push this kind of identity. You can't just present excellence. You can't just talk about women and say they're doing such a great job and they've won all these championships. You got to be delusional and try to compare them to men. Without me running my mouth too much, roll a film.
Today I have a presentation on dynasties. But I refuse to talk about the ancient history and drama.
Alexander the Great.
That's just the patriarchy. Instead, I'm going to talk about a dynasty that I actually look up to. An all-women dynasty. Women of color. Gay women. Women who fight for social justice. Women with a jump shot. A dynasty that makes your favorite men's basketball, football, and baseball teams look like amateurs.
I'm finna show y'all in a minute.
A dynasty with fire braids, a dynasty with sick style, a dynasty with crazy dimes. A dynasty that makes Alexander the Great look like Alexander the... Okay. The dynasty that's been reigning for the past 25 years. It's undefeated since '96. The USA basketball women's national team, 7-time consecutive gold medalist. And most importantly, women that made it possible for girls like me to feel like they can be a part of whatever dynasty they want. The greatest dynasty ever.
All right, so now that we got that trash can of a situation out of the way, let's talk about, real quick, we're going to talk a little bit about dynasties. Alexander the Great, you shouldn't even, I don't know why anybody thought that it was appropriate to put in a script about Alexander the Great compared to anybody. Arguably one of the greatest leaders, one of the greatest warriors in world history. And I did a little research on the battles that he participated in. Alexander the Great have never lost a battle. He never lost a battle. 20-0. I'm not talking about basketball game. I'm talking about battles in war. He's never lost one. This is a basketball game. You're talking about war. You're talking about building an empire that we still acknowledge today. Some of the cities that he built is still around today, 2,000 years later. Okay. I'm just saying, some of the things that he's written, people are still referring to today, thousands of years later. somebody said, and I haven't been able to verify this, that he was able to conquer and seize 2 million acres of land. But y'all talking about a basketball team of girls that I probably could get out there right now and D up some of these girls. I could probably get out right now and play better than some of these girls, and I ain't played basketball since I was in middle school. Let me show you, because I don't need to talk about it. You don't need to guess. I'm gonna do the work for you. You don't have to wonder, what does women's basketball look like in comparison to even just men's basketball? Now, they added football, men's basketball, and baseball. They did it all. I'm just going to show you what women's basketball look like versus men's basketball. And you tell me if they are producing the greatest dynasty. Forget Alexander the Great. I mean, that was a complete methamphetamine move to say that they are comparable to probably one of the most decorated warriors ever. Let's just go with basketball. Let's just put you against your own competition. Just a few highlights. Just watch it, and you tell me, do they even compare to men's basketball? Throw the film.
Bench having a little fun as McCautry goes to the reverse and missed it badly.
Steal. He kept it in bounds. Here it is again.
I'm just enjoying this so much.
Mister comes up with the steal. Catchings goes over the backboard on the reverse.
Slight jump hook.
Durant right around Chandler. Oh, come on! Oh,
Rely on those skills I learned as a kid. You see that when she hits the deck every time.
we certainly do. Ali has more. And Jalen Smith throws it down.
Time out. They can't even dunk. I'm just, you can't even dunk. Greatest dynasty, y'all can't even dunk. You play with a smaller basketball and you shoot from a three-point line that's not the same distance as the male three-point line. They got to scoot your three-point line up. They got to give you a smaller ball, and y'all still can't dunk. I'm cool. Just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. And you ain't got nothing to worry about. Just stay in your lane. If you want to come out of your lane, then this is what you're going to get compared to.
Generation, they have something to look forward to. For these young ladies, the younger ones have been able to watch us for 18 years as we celebrate our 18th year of the WNBA. So it's really
Well done by Tyrese. Uh-oh, Zion goes quick, hammers it home. Oh, he caught a body.
Oh, look at that half-court shot. Whoa, she almost made it.
Curry has time. 3 seconds. Curry from half court. Oh! He puts it in.
Bob underneath, hits the backboard.
Throws it away. Durant running to the rim. Oh!
Do I need to keep playing this? I want to play the whole video. Shout out to the person who made this video. I wish I was fortunate enough to put these highlights together. Now, I'm going to be honest. It's biased, okay? These are some lowlights from the WNBA. I wouldn't even say these are highlights. These are plays that have occurred. You could run out of film trying to do highlights in the NBA. But this just lets you know how weak they look. These dudes is dunking like this and doing free throws and half-court shots. Stephen Curry have done half-court shots like that I don't know how many times. I've lost count, and I don't even watch basketball. You can just put Stephen Curry half-court shots. This joker be hitting threes from dang near half-court, almost all his threes. Just going in. I want to watch more because I want to put the freaking nail in the coffin.
Oh! Here comes Johnson. 3-on-2. Johnson will take it herself and leave it short.
2 or 7. Wade thought about 3. Into the crossover.
First half. Dantas.
The speed, not even the
Hard there
same.
by Gabby Williams. Here's Sims open for a right side 3. That's an air ball long. Offensive rebound, fouls. The putback, no.
Got a piece of that one. Almost out of bounds somehow. Durant lets
More than doubling her points per game from last season. I saw her in the gym every day this offseason.
Pick it up. Here comes the
Kobe.
Hard to believe.
Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Come on. Do I need to keep playing this? Or y'all get it? No, keep going.
Unreal! Are you kidding me? How strong was that? A triple on a fall away in the corner.
That was similar to the shot.
Parker trying to throw
The shot. Quickly up the court. Brooks to Green.
Shield the rebound. Gray in transition.
Use like an athletic, long 2-3-3-2 type of guy to defend other teams' small forwards.
Oh!
Abby Williams, 6 to shoot, pull up a mid-range jumper as it
For that opening. Steps back. Crossover. Fires away. Wow!
All right. I think I'm done beating these girls up. God dang. I'm just saying, don't make a commercial. Don't make a commercial bashing men just to elevate women. The men, NBA subsidizes the WNBA. Why, Brandon? Because nobody want to look at these girls play basketball the way they look at men play basketball. And if they, and to be honest, and I'm going to keep it 100, because all you got to do is look at female sports. The only way they're going to get more attention to WNBA is if they wear, clothes that don't fit, that got booty shorts on, or wearing thongs or something like that. Then men will watch them. Men will probably watch the WNBA a lot more. Their attendance will probably go 50% more if they were dressed with bikinis on and thongs and stuff like that. They'll get the attention they want, because nobody will be paying attention to them shooting the basketball. They just be looking at women. That's just what it is. You tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. All you got to do is go look at women's tennis. They got mini skirts on. Look at women's volleyball. They got spandex on. Look at women's beach volleyball. They're literally naked, pretty much. I mean, go down the list. Women's track and field. Name a sport. You name a sport. Gymnastics, swimming. Name a sport. They hardly have any clothes on. And you compare those to the men's sports. All you got to do is go look at men's beach volleyball. They literally wearing basketball shorts. Go look at men's tennis. They're wearing shorts. Look at men's track and field. Many of them have shorts on that cover up most of the stuff. Go to any sport. Look at the way the men dress. Look at the way the women dress. And look at these sports, and I'm guaranteed the only reason that people are watching this stuff, I mean, look at CrossFit. Just go to CrossFit. Look at what women wear in CrossFit, and look at how men dress in CrossFit. And you tell me, when women are out there, because they're not lifting as much as men, they're not running as fast as men, they're not doing as much reps as men, and it's not that as much as impressive as men, in my personal opinion. When you talk about weightlifting, when you're talking about CrossFit, you're talking about triathlons, you're talking about all this stuff, they're not even close to men. So why do people watch it? Because they sexualize it. That's why men watch it. And the WNBA don't have the benefit of that, nor do they have the benefit of talent. It's much talent. I mean, them girls can play, but they don't have as much talent. So people are not watching it. I'm just keeping it 200. And if you don't like it, then you just don't like it. And it's not my fault that men have to come out and say this. Because if you were keeping it 100, if you were keeping it real and you made everything about the fact that women are succeeding within their sport, yeah, you're dogging out women all around the country. Yeah, you should be. America's the greatest country on planet Earth. Of course, you should be beating these women like that. Nobody compares to our country. Nobody can get you prepared like the United States of America. You should be thanking America that these women are going forth and beating all these women around the world. But you cannot make a comparison. You don't need to degrade another person to make yourself look good. You don't need to try to diss men and Alexander the Great in order to make you look like you are worth something. Just talk on your own merits. If they are 10, 11-time world championship, then talk about that and bring that up. But y'all got to bring up men. And you ain't even close to that. That's like a person who makes $100,000 a year talking about how they're cooler, or they got more clout than a billionaire. Listen, Just talk about the fact that you made 6 figures for the first time in your life this year. That is an incredible accomplishment. Talk about how you went from going check to check to now having a level of financial freedom. Don't go compare yourself to a billionaire. Somebody worth $200 billion. They'll make your money look like monopoly money. They money look like monopoly money. They make your annual salary in an hour. Don't even go there. Just stick to what you're doing right here. Stick to what you're doing. Just like a high school player trying to brag about how he's better than an NFL football player. Bro, you are nowhere near an NFL football player. You will go out there and get smashed. Stick to high school football. Talk about how you excelling in your own lane. People need to stop building fake bravado. That's what this all is. And thank y'all for the super chats. I'm going to get to it in a second. People need to stop building up a false bravado. This is what's wrong with America today. This is what's wrong with our children today. We're teaching them to be fake. Everybody's equal. No, they're not. Everybody's not going to be. Your life is not going to be fair. And if somebody telling you your life is going to be fair, then they lying to you. Now, you have the same amount of time to work on yourself as other people in this world. That's equal. God is giving you 24 hours like he's giving somebody else 24 hours. However, if you think somehow you're going to wake up and the world owes you fairness, it's not going to happen. You're going to have advantages. You're going to have disadvantages depending on your circumstances. And trust me, nobody has all advantages. You're going to have setbacks. Life is not going to be handed to you on a silver platter. You got to get out and get it. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to work harder than you did last year. You're going to have to believe in yourself. You're going to take chances. You don't just get handed things. But they lie to you. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody's worth it. You're worth it. People need to treat you fairly. No, they don't. They don't owe you to treat you fairly. Who owe you nothing? They don't owe you nothing. They don't owe you nothing. You got to earn what you get. You put in the work. You put in the belief system when nobody else does, and you'll come out on top. We're teaching our people to be weak and feckless. You got to work hard to get where you want to get. Work smart to get where you want to get. Stop building these kids up and making them think that it's normal to do all this other stuff. I got my nieces and nephews here, so I ain't going to go too crazy into this subject matter. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. They trick you into believing. You go out in the world with your blue hair and green clothes on and him, her, and hers in your bio, and you think that the world is going to just accept you with open arms. This is going to be the greatest day of your life. No, it's not. People are going to contest you. People are going to disagree with you. People are going to not like you. Some people are going to hate you. You don't get to go in this unicorn world. I'm such a progressive. I'm a minority. I deserve to get this, reparations. The world doesn't work like that. They lie to you in school and tell you it does. When you get out in the real world, it don't work like that. You got to go to work. You got to put in an application. You got to be competitive in the workforce. You don't just get paid $15 an hour. You got to work for it. You got to get promotions. You don't just get handed something. Anyway, I could talk about this for 3 hours. Let me get a couple of these super chats in here. You know what? I only can read the ones that's on here because YouTube sucks. When it comes to the memorization of these super chats, they just go away. They used to keep them cataloged, but they go away. Jennifer, thank you so much for the super chat. Please pray for God's guidance and hospital employees in northern Arizona as we face with a mandatory jabs by 11/1. We are peacefully protesting. Thank you. Y'all need to get together and walk out and tell them you're not doing it. There's no need to be that 11/1 don't mean nothing. November the 1st don't mean nothing. You tell them on November the 1st, are you willing to fire half of the nurses in this hospital? That's what nurses need to do. Are you willing to fire half of the nurses or 3/4 of the nurses in your hospital? If you're willing to do that, then all you nurses leave. You got 2 weeks to get a check and you go find a job somewhere else. Challenge them. How can a hospital stay afloat if 50% of the nurses walk out? They are forced to fire 50% of the nurses. How can they can't make revenue. They're not going to have enough people to fill with patients. There's not enough floating nurses to come and fill your position. There's not enough. And there's some people at the top of the food chain. When I say in the hospital, not just nurses. I mean, when I say top of the food chain, I mean people who have higher ranks. When you're putting that in proper perspective, you know, you got doctors that could walk out. What are you going to do if nurses and doctors are walking out of the hospital? You can't just replace them right away. That's how you're going to get your power. Protesting ain't going to help you. Protesting is not going to help you. Peacefully protesting will bring some awareness. Peacefully protesting do not help you. It's not going to help you. Nobody's going to listen to you. I'm just going to keep it real with you tonight because I have no other reason, no other way to do this. Peacefully protesting is not going to help you. You know, Martin Luther King necessarily didn't peacefully protest. You know, it was I can't think of the term, but they got arrested for some of the things that they did to push for the civil rights movement. They took a stand. And people in the hospital, especially because I feel like half of the people in the hospital don't want to be forced to do it, then get together and say, look, let's all stand together and let's walk out of this place. Let's threaten them. We could sign an email, and I need to have 5,000 people, you know, 500 people if it's a 1,000-person hospital, which is extremely big hospital. But you can say, you know, 500 people willing to sign off on this letter to say we are committed to walking out of here if you force us to be vaccinated. I guarantee you they will change their tune immediately. Civil disobedience. That's what it's called. Y'all got me. Civil disobedience. Don't show up. Tell them we out of here. Make them make a decision. Peacefully protesting is not going to help you at this point. They don't care about your sign. They don't care about your camaraderie. You can talk all you want. You ain't going to leave that job. Because at the end of the day, if you are a hospital, you don't care about feelings. You say, do I have enough nurses to cover these people? Do I have enough people coming into the hospital to keep us afloat? Do I have enough people with insurance that are coming in here and we continue to get paid? We can pay the doctors. We can pay the staff. We can keep the lights on. We can pay the building fund, whatever you got to do. Do we have enough money to do that? Okay, we got enough money. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care if you get exposed to COVID. I don't care if you get the Fauci ouchie and somehow you have a medical response that in the end of your life. It doesn't matter because if one of y'all die or 15 of y'all die, we can replace 15. We don't care. We don't care. And I want y'all to understand that. They don't care nothing about your signs. Brandon is shooting nothing but truth bombs. Swish. People who are angry and not reality-based will never see the fact and the truth. This is my opportunity also. Let me get to NBA. NBA is China-owned. I agree. It blows my mind that these liberal companies are telling women you're only worth something as long as a man are worthless. Yet they don't have the self-awareness of realizing their own sexism. 100%. How you gonna make a video that ain't got nothing to do with men, but you can make it about men, and you make it about degrading men? Let me say this too, because people will criticize me in my last video. Some people, you know, the small population of people who are, I don't know if their brain is connected properly or whether they fell on their head when they was a baby or something. I don't know what happened to them. But there's a small group of people that criticize me because I was talking about track and field. Why men and women do not get paid the same in track and field. If you want to go even broader than that, there is a reason why men and women don't get paid the same. And it's not because somehow you go work at the fire department and they tell you women make this pay and men make this pay. That's impossible. They cannot do that. It is illegal to discriminate against anybody in the workforce based on sex, sexual orientation, race, all of handy and disability. They cannot they cannot discriminate against you based on pay. So why do they come up with this concept that women make 70 cents on a dollar? That's because they're not accounting for people's decision making, right? Let me give you an example, a perfect example. You have, just say a husband and wife. Typically, who's going to be in law enforcement is typically going to be a man. Who's going to be in the education system, meaning like a school teacher, middle school teacher, whatever the case may be. Who's going to be in that profession? Mostly women. A husband and wife together go out in the workforce. The husband is a police officer. The wife is a school teacher. Both very honorable positions in our society and very, very necessary. You really can't have one without the other. You need police and you need teachers. However, how much do teachers get paid? How much do police officers get paid? What kind of degree do you have to be a teacher? What kind of degree do you have to be a police officer? You don't have to have a degree to be a police officer. You are not going to have a financial burden or financial debt because all you need is a GED to be a police officer in many of these cities. You have to have a college degree to be a school teacher. So you're talking about less pay, more debt, more pay, less debt as a police officer. And then what they do is they pick jobs like this all around the country. And on average, the jobs that men typically are attracted to make more money than the ones that women are attracted to. Or let me give you an example of two people in the same job. You got a male and you got a female in the exact same job. Both of them are police officers. I experienced this. I saw this with my own eyes. This married couple, one was a lieutenant, one wasn't a lieutenant. Now, keep this in mind. You have a male and a female. They work the same amount of hours. They have the same pay. Obviously, they can't discriminate against people based on pay. So they go on and they have a child. Now, when the wife has the baby, she goes on maternity leave. When you're on maternity leave, you can't get paid night differential, which is $1 an hour on night shift. You can't get paid overtime, which because you're not working, you're on the desk or you're at home. You cannot get paid off-duty jobs because you cannot work extra jobs because you're pregnant. You're sitting at home. You're not getting extra pay that's allotted to people who are actually working. Her husband continues to work. At the end of the year, the 6 months or something she was not at work, he was still working and working extra overtime. His salary is higher than her salary. Does that mean that the Tucson Police Department discriminated against women in pay? No, it doesn't. It just means that he worked more. And because of maternity leave, she earned less. And they live in the same household. Okay. I could go on and on about this, but people start to criticize, well, that don't mean men should make more than women. You know, how many women doing construction right now? How many female are doing truck driving right now? How many female plumbers do you know? It's not, you can be a plumber if you want to. Nobody's stopping you. That's not something that women typically do. They can, but some women are not attracted to that career field. You make a lot of money being a plumber. You make a lot of money driving trucks, depending on how you're doing it. You know, you make a lot of money in construction. But that's not typically the way women want to work. That's not what they want to do. A lot of women would like to be a stay-at-home mom. On paper, you don't make a lot of money being a stay-at-home mom, although that's probably the most invaluable position, a job that you can have in society is being a stay-at-home mom. You're taking care of your children. You're building a new generation of people adequately. That's probably the most important position you can be in. However, you don't get paid to do that. There's not a salary cap that they can refer to. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, women are just not getting paid the same. And also there's statistical data out here. Many people would agree to this. If you do not believe it, go look it up for yourself, that women who have equal education as men actually make more money than men do. Okay. All right. I can go on and on, but people just don't think for themselves. I live in Sarasota County. Please help. Just mandated masks for my 6-year-old in school. The only thing that can help you, and prayers can help, but the only thing that can help you is take your kid out of their school. Take him out of the school. Take them out of the school. Put them in another school. Put them at homeschool them. If somebody got to quit their job to make it happen, then do it. Other than that, what are you going to do? The school is going to mandate it. You tell her not to wear it. If they kick her out of school, they just kick her out of school. We got to start standing up to these people. We can't just rely on prayers. Faith without works is dead. You can have faith that God will answer your prayers, but you got to do something about it. You got to be active. You got to do your part so God can do his part. And I'd say pull your kid out of school. Alexander the Great insult is where I lost it. I mean, there's no need to bring up Alexander the Great in that video that I just shared. And I might just share it one more time for the people that's just jumping in. This Nike commercial is off the chain. It's the dumbest commercial I've ever seen in my life. But let me play it again for people that are just jumping in, and then I'm going to answer some more super chats.
Today I have a presentation on dynasties.
A presentation on dynasties.
But I refuse to talk about the ancient history and drama. That's just the patriarchy.
Ancient history and drama. That's just the patriarchy. What? You fool, you're talking about dynasties. How you going to leave out all the greatest dynasties of history have been dynasties in the past? America hadn't even America is like a baby. The reign of the American idea is a toddler compared to 1,000-year-old. You're talking about dynasties. This American idea is a couple hundred years old. You're talking about dynasties like Alexander the Great. These are 1,000 years reigns.
Patriarchy. Instead, I'm going to talk about a dynasty that I actually look up to.
So as a young girl, a dynasty that you look up to. So you don't even want to talk about them. You don't look up to them because they're men, the patriarchy. A dynasty that you look up to is not the, let me just let it play. Let me play it.
An all-women dynasty.
All women dynasty.
Of
all women dynasty. You talk about sexism, this is sexism.
color, gay women, women who fight for social justice, women with.
They ain't talking about white women. They talking about black women, women of color, all this other stuff they saying. They ain't mentioning white women. So just forget about the white women. So you got sexism and you got racism right here in the same video.
The jump shot. A dynasty that makes your favorite men's basketball, football, and baseball teams look like amateurs.
Then she just told a lie. So now you're doing sexism, racism, and lying in a minute. This video is 58 seconds. You can't be that dumb in one video.
A dynasty with fire braids. A dynasty with sick style.
That big goofy girl is trash on a basketball court.
A dynasty with crazy dimes. A dynasty that makes Alexander the Great.
She said crazy dimes. I hope she's not talking about looks. I hope she's not talking about looks. I would argue that the WNBA is not that competitive with other sports when in the look category. I'm just saying.
Look like Alexander the Okay. The dynasty that's been reigning for the past 25 years. It's undefeated since
25 years. Nike, really? She's talking about a dynasty for 25 years. Alexander the Great with thousands of years. Thousands of years. Dynasty. Alexander the Great is still revered today. Today. People still read the material. Some of the empires that he's been able to build, the cities that he's been able to establish are around through the 21st century. 25 years.
46. The USA basketball women's national team, 7-time consecutive gold medalist. And most importantly, women that made it possible for girls like me to feel like they can be a part of whatever dynasty they want. The greatest dynasty ever.
Okay. I feel bad for women today. They putting up these hope blockers. Then they get in there and they play against men and they get destroyed. And then they feel like the world has lied to them and they want to quit on life. Let's see. As Trump told the little girl years ago, you'll make the same if you do a great of a job. It's true. Let's see. Basketball is foolery in the grand scheme. They're literally modern jokers. Let me tell y'all something. You know, even like, look, you produce, you succeed. You know, the highest paid person besides me in my company is a woman. You know, so, and let me think. You know, the highest paid person besides myself in my organization is a woman. I mean, like, if you do the job, you're gonna get paid. If you don't do a job, you're not gonna get paid. You're not gonna make money. Your race, your sex, your race, and stuff don't matter. It doesn't matter. It matters what work product are you producing. I can't believe they made an ad like this and like people take them seriously. Like, I want to just rag on. Let me tell you what this does. This type of stuff create sexism. It does, because they're already pushing sexism, but it makes men want to fight back, right? To me, it makes me want to clown these women every single chance I get and just prove why they should never do this again. But that creates animosity that don't even need to be had. We don't need to be arguing. Kudos to you. Thank God you guys doing good. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't come at us. Don't come at us and try to say this little 25-year dynasty is better than Michael Jordan. They said they make Michael Jordan. Even though I don't like LeBron James, Stephen Curry. I remember back in the day, Allen Iverson. I mean, we can go down Scottie Pippen, Karl Malone. I mean, we can go to Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr. I mean, we can go down. We can go down a list of many people. I say Robert Bird. His name is I forget his name. Bird, big goofy Bird for the Celtics. I mean, we can go down the list. You're telling me that any one of these women is close to being as, you know, competitive athletically as Bo Jackson? I mean, Bo Jackson, he's one of the greatest athletes to ever live. Played in the NFL, ran in the Olympics. I believe he ran the Olympics. He ran a 10-1 at 230 pounds. And he played professional baseball. He threw a 110-mile-per-hour baseball to second base. What? What? I mean, I can go down the list. There is not a single woman. I mean, it's not unfortunate. It's the way God made us. It ain't your fault. It ain't my fault. There's not a single woman you talk about the top tier athletes. It's not even close. The video that I did not too long ago, let me go here. The video I did not too long ago that's got 2 million views on it was me showing you precisely why women and men are just built differently. They're built differently. It got like 2 million views on it. Let me find it real quick. And I'm just gonna play a little snippet of it after this commercial go, and then I'm gonna play it. But the athleticism ain't even close. And I don't even know why people are even arguing these things. There's nothing to argue here. We need to just, support one another and stop trying to make something out of that it ain't. You feel me? Let's get on here real quick. And I'm just gonna show you real quick. And I'm gonna let it play in the background. Of course, I'm covering myself up. Say what's up to B. Tatum right here. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? I see you over there. Just get back there behind me so I can watch this video. So in the video, I show you very clearly, very, very clearly, a man in the field of women on the track field. This is a man. All of these are women. And he's just, look at this. Look at this. Nothing against women. They putting you at an unfair disadvantage by trying to tell you should even be the bone structure, the muscle density, the lung capacity is different in men and women. That nobody can control that. So the reason he can run like this, because he's a physically different human being than these women are. And if that wasn't good enough that a man just dogged out all these women in the race, watch a woman in a race full of nothing but men. She's in a race full of men. So the man just showed that he can just destroy all these women with ease. Now watch what happens when a woman got like a 70-meter lead over the last place guy. Watch what happened to this. Just watch what happened. She's way up here. She's like 70 meters from this dude in the back. About 70 meters from him. And these dudes ain't fast at all. But the American, here come the American blood. Born and raised in America, the greatest country on earth. The greatest producer of great black people in the world, right here. Come and just, like she was standing still. And like I said in the earlier video, not only did he beat her, which I expected him to, so did he, so did this guy, so did he, so did he, and so did he. She literally got last. And then Mr. Tatum over here, he was laughing at him. You wrong for laughing at him, but he was laughing at him because it was an embarrassment. And it's not weird because I knew exactly what was going to happen because I have common sense. And there's no way in the world that a man and a woman should be competing in the same sports. I think I beat the dead horse until it's paralyzed and smashed up into little bite-sized pieces. Somebody said they bought my shirt, pink tee hoodie, and loved it. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Somebody said I was sexist. Yeah. Let me just look at some of the comments. Get the super chats if y'all super chat. It's crazy. It's crazy what this world is coming to. But that's why people like me exist. So I could just set the record straight. Young ladies, don't get fooled. Get out of that. Don't argue with stuff that you're not involved in. Just be an excellent woman. And that's your goal, is be an excellent woman. Quit trying to compare to men. You're not a man. You compare to women. You should be trying to be like Madam C.J. Walker, who's an incredible. She'd be a billionaire with today's financial standards in the early 1900s. Like, why are you trying to compare to men? You should be trying to compare to Madam C.J. Walker. You should be trying to compare to all the other great women of the world. Just compare to them. Why are you trying to compare to men? It makes no sense. You know, but I might make another video about this. I just had to throw this out there. I think another video would be more compelling. I make a short clip to put it out, but I just had to say this tonight because it was just boiling in my blood. But I love you guys, man. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one. Hold on, wait a minute. I would have seen you on the next one. Make sure y'all go visit the Austin Tatum store, man. I miss some of y'all in the store. We got to put out some new stuff, though. All right, let me get on here and see what it do. All right. So I can end it from here. But thank you guys. I appreciate all the love, all the support. I appreciate you. See y'all on the next one. I'm out, man.